name every week.
I was Jeff when I first.
That's right, ladies and boys and girls. This is the Royal Ramble with Joey the Bull Santana, Jonathan Mellis, and your tag team champions of the world, Thunder and Lightning.
Say it ain't so, Joey. Say it ain't so.
I ain't saying nothing. How you like my curl? I got a nice curl going on, huh?
Hey,
looking like Chico
Hello,
the
ladies
Bar.
and gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Hey, Adam Woods, how you doing?
Hey, Adam Woods, where you going, Adam Woods?
Hello, ladies and
Bye,
gentlemen.
token.
And welcome. Don't say that.
I mean, God
you guys are being mean. You don't have to be
poor
mean.
Adam.
Adam's a
Now
good
he's getting
guy.
right about
Adam
this.
knows he's the homie. Come on now.
Now he's getting right about this.
All
Now.
anyone ever does is pick on that poor guy.
Well, goddamn
Except,
it.
you know, I mean,
here's the thing that I learned growing up.
Okay.
You let people pick on you, you deserve every ounce of that shit. Like if you're gonna stand up and be a man and be like, hey, I'm tired of your crap, then things might change.
Well, his excuse is, I'm friends with everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Royal Ramble, Orange County Championship Wrestling's flagship station, on his flagship show, on his flagship station, the free admission channel. To my left, the always exciting, ever interesting, never dull, ladies and gentlemen, one half of the Orange County Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions. He is known the world over as the Master of the Night, the cellar dweller, the dude with attitude. He is Azrael.
And I won't be keeping these tag team championships, my precious tag team titles. I've done a lot of tag teaming in my life, but none so much as with B.A. Marcus Frey. We are going to dominate the tag team scene all over from here to Paris, from Anaheim to the Eiffel Tower. We're going to buy motorboats and pearl necklaces, and we're going to rule the night forever and always.
You have to pay for those pearl necklaces? I heard you got them for free.
Ah!
All right. And to my right, people say he's getting better at meeting females. Other people say he believes all men be fools. Ladies and gentlemen,
What?
he is B.A. Marcus Frey.
He's bad at making sentences.
Yes.
But it's all good. Yeah, baby, that's what we do. He might be the king of the night right now, but I'm the darkness that lurks behind you, baby. We are the Darksiders, and we run this, baby.
Dark
I unleash my darkness upon OCCW. Get him, darkness.
That's what
Get him.
it is.
And now that they're running things, they're going to be paying the rent on the studio and the transportation expenses.
The reason why we don't have to do that is because we run things.
Oh, is that what it is? You run things, and so you don't have
I'm
to pay.
white.
for them.
I
mean,
pay
really-
for things with tax dollars.
Really?
Thank you, City of Stanton.
Think about it. Think about it. Vince McMahon don't really cut that many checks.
No.
He gets paid by everybody else. That's what I'm gonna go over to Saudi Arabia and get some money. That's what we do. We go somewhere, we get some money.
Actually, I think he probably has an entire wing on that Titan Tower that were called accounts payable and accounts receivable.
Well, you want to be our accountant then?
I am your accountant.
There you go. So then I ain't got to worry about nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, my thoughts. It was July 7th, 1996. The site was Daytona Beach, Florida. I sat stunned and equally disgusted as I watched what I thought I would never see. That's right, Hulk Hogan's historic heel turn. And with it, the formation of the now legendary New World Order.
We're coming for you.
Oh no! My career in flames.
The entire... All right, hold on. Let me
Stevie
finish
Ray.
this. The entire wrestling world was turned upside down. As for maybe the first time ever, the bad guys became famous, and the good guys took a back seat. Way back. To the very back. And for a while, this innovative new angle took WCW and pro wrestling as a whole to new heights. Ratings soared. Crossover stars were made, and fans were thrilled. This edgy new faction, whose nucleus consisted of Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Syxx, or Sean Waltman, and Hulk Hogan, owned the Monday Night Wars that has been documented 83 weeks in a row. For over a year and a half, they succeeded in trouncing Vince McMahon and his WWF in the all-important ratings battle, and lifted WCW from a regional wrestling promotion to an international entertainment sensation. Sold-out arenas, soaring pay-per-view buys, and T-shirt and merchandise sales went through the roof. But, unbeknownst to the average fan, the politicking and maneuvering of those same individuals began to take its toll. TV time became clearly monopolized by this bloated group of cool heels. The heat that other wrestlers would gain was more often than not squashed by the egos of the men now known as the NWO. So overgrown had they become that they split into different factions. You had the Wolf Pack, you had the red and white, or black and white. Then, seemingly everyone in the company became a member of this new world order. After a little while, the ratings fell. And then after a little while longer, they fell even further. Event attendance crashed. And World Championship Wrestling settled into the always unenviable also ran position. Soon thereafter, WCW folded. All had been lost. And many, myself included, were left feeling that the men who were responsible for its doom were the ones who gained the most from its short-lived success. After a brief stint in the WWE, the NWO finally, we thought, had gone away. Many of us bid them a fond good riddance and moved on, forever holding a grudge that they had taken our favorite promotion to ruin. And now, as I scroll through my social media threads, I see that it has been announced that these same men, the same angle, that same group, will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. To this, one can only say sometimes the bad guys do win. And maybe there really is no justice in the world of wrestling.
No justice.
You are
no
so
peace.
sad about this.
He really is.
All right.
I mean, that
You
like
was a grown man.
I was. 20 years ago, I was a grown man.
23 years later. Why, Hulk Hogan? Why would
how could you turn on your fans?
Turn on the kids
Say it
like
ain't so,
that.
Hogan. Say it ain't
Like,
so.
No,
Give me money.
you forget. I always
Money.
hated Hulk Hogan. The minute I saw him come in to Bob Backlund's rescue against the Wild Samoans, and then when he won the title, he was an insult to my intelligence.
But here's the
No,
thing: is
what-
it shocks you though.
What bothered me about the NWO, I'll be honest with you, when I would watch Monday Nitro, I would see Scott Hall or Kevin Nash get out there. You see Sting get in the ring, and Sting, would get all ready to go, and they would make fun
Right,
of
with
him.
his blonde
they
flat
would
top.
they would kill his heat. Whoever got in, whoever the face was, they would just mock him. They would bury him on camera. This was after they spent 20 minutes of the opening segment talking about how cool they were and going, hey, yeah, bro. They killed the ratings, all right? They killed attendance, and they killed WCW. I love WCW. I loved the NWA before it.
Still mad.
I am mad because
23 years.
it has not been 23 years.
1996.
18 years.
What
18 years.
What year are we in now?
WCW folded in 2001.
Okay, from that day.
Yeah.
The end. Okay.
The end, right? And you know what? You can point to exactly what happened. These guys took it over and ran it into the ground.
See, but you
ATM Eric. Now that stands for automatic teller machine. It doesn't stand for what I think it does it? Well, anyway, in either case, he let these guys. I don't want to say bully, but they put an end. So for 20 years, and now we have what, AEW? That's supposed to be its replacement? What are you giggling?
It's totally a different thing, but okay.
No, it is. It's on the same network.
It's totally different people.
It isn't totally
It's a
different.
different
Oh, really?
situation.
JR?
They're on the. Who cares?
Tony Schiavone?
JR
I
wasn't
care,
in
because
WCW in 1997.
He was in WCW. Sure he was.
Jim Ross.
Yeah.
In 1997,
Yeah.
was a member of WCW.
Well, he was a member of WCW at some point. Exactly when? He was their lead announcer, and then he went over to WWF. So, yeah, he was their lead announcer for a long time. Him and Tony Schiavone.
But the money structure is completely different.
Sure it is, because there's less of it.
well, that's debatable, but I feel like it's a different approach though, because they're not truly letting the inmates run the asylum. The difference, and I see that
The inmates built the asylum.
but the difference is the inmates that are building this asylum are saying, you come here, you have a free voice. Not saying you come here and there's an endless amount of money for you to do whatever you want.
Oh, that's true.
It's saying you come here with your ideas, because let's be real. When was the last time, other than Bray Wyatt and New Day, that WWE actually let a wrestler speak their mind and have their voice?
Was it Pipe Bomb Boy?
Exactly, CM Punk, and that got over
until they started to control it.
Right, sure.
Same thing with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was the man, and everybody loved that first turn and the angle. And then what did they do? They said, this is marketable. So what we need to do is we need to control where it goes.
Sure.
And it started to fail. What AEW is saying is, you come here, you have ideas, and yes, we might say, that's not a great idea, or yeah, that's a good one, and we'll greenlight it and let you go with it, instead of saying these writers are going to script all 2 hours of this show.
Right, I get you. So you agree with me. The NWO brought WCW to ruin.
They brought it to ruin because what happened was not so much the character freedom, but because of the fact that there was no control over what was going on the rest of the card. You could tell that Eric Bischoff saw that was a cash cow, and so he let everything else fail to let NWO succeed. That's what killed them. Because the NWO group could have been there for years. New Day hasn't gone anywhere.
Sure, or like
New
the Four
Day's been
Horsemen.
there
Exactly.
Right,
It should have been
Four
kept
Horsemen
as part of what it was.
Exactly. So they could have been an entity, but what they did was they let that entity take over from the start of the show to the end of the show. It was NWO. And then what would you get? Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit in a match that nobody gave a damn about. You know, some of the greatest matches that they had were overlooked. Lance Storm versus Dean Malenko. Nobody cared. You know, like these great wrestlers that were putting in actual, talent and time in the ring were all being overlooked because they wanted to focus on NWO, NWO Red, LWO, NWO Blue, NWO Red, White, and Blue. Whatever you want. Like, they came up with so many different facets of it to where it was like, okay, now this is no longer WCW. This is NWO Presents. And that's what killed them.
You wanted to say something? I noticed you were raising your finger.
Jim Ross debuted in WWF in 1993 at WrestleMania 9. That was his first.
Okay,
appearance.
that was his first appearance.
He wasn't in WCW in 1997.
He came back to WCW after that. He jumped from one to the other and then back again. Jim Ross.
Really? When?
Yes. Let's see. He started in UWF, which was the Mid-South, and then he went to WCW. And he went to WWF
in 1993.
And then he came back.
When?
WCW. Somewhere after 1993,
But when? I really don't remember that at all. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
What were you, like 5?
No, but because Jim Ross is like the voice of WWF
Sure he was.
in like the Attitude Era in 1997. By God, it's Steve Austin during like the Monday Night Wars. So like him being in WCW, I don't. Does everybody else? Louis, do you remember Jim Ross being in WCW?
I don't.
Does anybody else? Anybody watching? Can you tell me when Jim Ross was ever in WCW after 1993?
Well, you can look it up on your little thing like you looked it up again.
I will.
Look
Don't
it
worry
again.
about it. I'll look it up.
Anyway, I was there. Not there, but... All right, that said, is that all you wanted to add?
Now I need to look this up.
All right.
Now I'm
So,
porno.
there we go.
He's like, yeah,
take me a while.
close the Pornhub app.
All right, that said,
You laugh.
This weekend was a big weekend in the WWE as their pay-per-view match, or card,
The
tables,
show,
ladders, and chairs.
TLC.
Right. So because we keep a very busy schedule, we're going to have our international correspondent, Mr. Jack Bruce Davidson, speak to us about the world of wrestling
Please
international.
do, because I was doing almost anything else this weekend than watching that. So yeah, come on in, JBD.
All right, let's not start putting it down right off.
No, I'm not. I gotta admit, the women's match was pretty brutal.
Oh, yeah.
That was a pretty tough women's tag team match. I give them that.
All right. Good for them.
Hold on. Very, very quickly. Let's see if I'm wrong. Jim Ross, professional career. Yeah, Wikipedia. 1974 to 1987, he was with the Mid-South. Okay, good for him. 87 to 93 is WCW, as I'm saying. And then the World Wrestling Federation.
Look.
93 to 94.
And then there's a break, and
94
then
to
he
2000.
went back to WCW.
That's when he had a stroke for a little bit, and then he came back. 94 to 2013.
He didn't have a stroke, he had Bell's palsy.
They had a guy impersonating him in a cruel and unjust joke, which drove away more viewers than anything else, because Eric Bischoff's a piece of shit.
Anyway, we're looking at Eric Bischoff is, definitely.
He's
Jack, you see that screen right there?
Eric
Yeah.
Bischoff
we
is
need
the
to see you in
reason
it.
WCW
Yeah.
closed.
Eric
He's
Bischoff
the
is-
main reason. I
Eric
agree.
Bischoff is the
There you
devil's
go.
Because he
left
liked
nut.
hanging out
Like
with
he
the dude, so they
Yeah.
demanded
Terrible.
any amount of
All right,
money.
so what is new in the world of international wrestling?
All right, the first story is Lana.
Before we start, Jack, let's take a look at that shirt, shall we?
Which one?
Give it to him.
Which one?
Obviously not the one underneath.
Yeah, who gives a rat's ass about the one underneath? So look, now this is a Ren Spooner special, all the way from wherever Ren Spooner's from. You'll notice that it has special wrinkles put in the back, just so it has that fresh, right out of the couch look.
All right.
All right, now go ahead. I'm sorry to
That
interrupt.
was,
right.
wow.
So
What?
Lana.
I feel like I have a rag in my trunk that looks like that.
Yeah, chamois.
No.
So Lana has been receiving death threats ever since she began the storyline with Bobby Lashley and Rusev, and it's gotten to the point where the FBI and the WWE are investigating certain threats, and they're everywhere from her social media to her email.
What kind of threats is she receiving? I mean, aside from death threats, from who?
Some
Credible threats,
I'm gonna
right?
bet white
Some-
supremacists.
Yeah,
Probably.
some boneheaded wrestling fans, you know,
That
who
love
maybe
the
Probably the ones
Take
in
it a
the
little
deep
bit too
south and
seriously.
Midwest.
In order for the FBI to get involved, it has to be considered a credible threat, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I mean, we all know that there are groups out there that are fairly credible on what they do, and you know, so when you're parading around talking about you will not replace us, that group probably said something that made them go, all right.
all right, fair enough.
yeah.
Okay, so
And
well,
then-
we'll have more on that as it develops.
Yeah. And then the next story is the wrestler formerly known as Sin Cara, Jorge Arias.
Wait.
Like how you
Let's
say-
try that again.
Please,
George,
The
please say
wrestler
it again.
formerly known as what?
Please.
Sin Cara.
Sin Cara.
Speak one more time.
And basically,
What's his real
Leave him
real
alone.
name?
You can't say it any better.
I want to.
I've heard you
George
say
Arias.
churro.
Churro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get me on food. I'm gonna pronounce that right because I don't want you to mess it up.
so he appeared at AAA's event Guerra de Titan.
No, do it
Yeah.
good. Do it in your best Spanish accent.
John, don't be laughing at
Guerra
the poor
de
kid.
Titane event under the name Sin Cara, and he was using the same mask.
So he just brought back the same
Yeah,
gimmick
and this could be trouble for
because there's already another
because,
guy out
you know,
there.
not only that, but he signed a 90-day no-compete clause, and WWE owns the trademark to the Sin Cara name.
Right,
So
which
now-
is why when Mystico came in as Sin Cara the first time, when he left, they said, you can leave, but Sin Cara stays with us.
And,
the Dudley
and it's,
Right.
it's not only a problem for Jorge Arias, but it's a problem for AAA in general because WWE might have a lawsuit on their
Let's
hands.
sue them into the ground.
Exactly.
Vince McMahon now owns
Yeah, because that's some
AAA.
real competition.
And then,
Here's the
He
thing.
might out of spite.
Does that carry over into international waters or what?
Sorry, just some a viewer said Lana
that's
spelled
very
backwards.
That's why he likes
You know how many girls named Lana I've
There's
heard tell me that?
right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Sorry,
well,
JVD.
okay.
No,
It's
you
a
good, you good.
standard open.
Okay, back to JBD. Sorry, brother.
no, you good, man. And then ever since this happened, he changed his name on his social media to Cinta de Oro, or Gold Ribbon in Spanish.
Aw.
And you know,
That
it's for his
gold
trainer,
belt.
and I think it's a little too late because
belt.
you know he already used the name on air, and AAA already used the name on air, so it could be an issue.
Well, and at this point, the only thing that WWE can do is they can say anything replaying this footage, that stuff has to be edited out. I mean, because really, what are you going to do? You're going to go, oh, you used it one time on national television. We're going to sue. I mean, it's kind of pointless.
All right. The views and opinions of Azrael are the views and opinions
You
of...
never know. Why?
Daniel
Why would she
Azrael
go
himself.
running off with Lashley?
They do not represent the views and opinions of Orange County Championship Wrestling, the Free Admission Channel, or the Royal Ramble.
Why are we stating this? Some symbols.
I'm typing as we're talking about the thing.
So anyway...
I'm confused. Why would you just change your mask or the name or whatever, for God's
Yeah,
sake?
I don't understand that either. I mean, it's like, are you just asking for trouble?
I feel like that's what he wanted to prove a point. That's
Which
what it
was
seemed
what?
like.
That
I thought he owned the name still and didn't
right.
understand.
Like he was, well, because that's the
I
thing
am
is
Sin Cara.
that,
That's my name.
but that's the thing is the guy that ended up
Razor
playing
Cabron?
Sin Cara, he's fluent in English. Like the first guy was not. The first guy that came in as Sin Cara was not fluent in English. He did not know. It was definitely not his first language, and they had trouble communicating with him. The second guy that took over, who went as Hunico as well, was fluent in English. So this has nothing to do with a language barrier. This is literally him just going,
throwing up the middle finger and hoping
you can't control me, and then realize, oh wait,
you can't.
This is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Wow,
So-
that was dumb. That was dumb.
Maybe they only own it in America. Maybe they don't own it.
That's what I said. That's
Maybe
what
they
I
didn't
said.
file like international trademark.
I mean, I guess
He's
if
got, like, a
that's
loophole.
something you want to, I don't know if that's something
And
you
if
want
there's
to.
what do they call that? If he wrestled there before as Sin Cara,
Yeah,
right?
which I think he did. He was.
Yeah,
It was
so-
mystical.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, that's a story for another day. Marty Scurll.
One of my favorite wrestlers. One of your favorite wrestlers.
It is.
villain.
Yes.
He's made his
He's moving
debut
upward and upward.
in the National Wrestling Alliance at the Into the Fire pay-per-view. The villain confronted the NWA champ Nick Aldis after he retained his title against James Storm in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Pardon me. It's very interesting considering we saw him going. All signs pointed to him going to AEW due to his Bullet Club friends being there. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Hey, by the way, you guys may or may not know this. I know you probably don't. But NWA has announced the name of their next pay-per-view. Do you know what it is?
No clue.
Do you?
Bash at the Beach.
Hard Times.
Ha! Sue them.
Yes, I think
It's
we will.
time to sue.
I think we will, especially since I invited Cody at the very first Hard Times to come make an appearance because he was at Frankenstein's or something, and I didn't hear back from him. So I just may sue you because now we have a communication there. There's actually some precedent there. So
and we got proof. We got old flyers and stuff.
if it was if it was AEW, I'd be on the phone with the lawyer already.
Right.
But I like the NWA, and we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
well, I mean,
All right.
they got legends as tag team champions, so why not?
We've got legends as tag team
Well,
champions.
we are living.
Who are their
legends.
tag team champions?
We're living legends, and they're walking corpses.
All right, stop.
Damn.
Come on, show some
Who are the
respect to the
NWA
Rock and Roll Express.
You know what?
Man.
Much love to them,
know?
but damn.
Who are the NWA tag team champions?
Last I checked, Rock and Roll Express.
Ha! Good. Summon them. Bring them on down to OCCW.
Yes.
I will throw an old man down the stairs. I don't give a damn.
You're going
Not
down
you.
first. Okay. All right, keep going.
Ricky Morton, what are you, like 78 years old?
He's in his 60s.
Come on
so-
down, Grandpa. I'm gonna beat you worse than you got beat in the Civil War. Come on down.
That's elder abuse. Actually.
Oh, jeez.
So the WWE and NXT and AEW Dynamite are pulling out all the stops this week as both programs are fighting for viewer bragging rights. NXT has a stacked card including Finn Balor versus Adam Cole for the NXT title,
guys are in
and which they
NXT?
released a commercial-free show. AEW
Everybody
responded
keeps
by
moving
dropping a dream match of Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus the Lucha Brothers on a match that'll also be commercial free.
If that's a dream match, then you're dreaming a little bit. You're
Yeah.
wasting 8 hours of sleep a night.
Well,
Hence the-
I mean,
Hence the
to
dream
some of the
match.
to some of the people that religiously live the independent scene, they love those guys. So to them, that's a dream match. Again, like you said.
Well, I really like Adam Page.
Yeah, Adam Page.
and I
Adam
like
Page. There's no limit to what
I
that
like
man
the
can
parallels they draw to Barry Windham because that was the first thing I saw when I saw him. I go, that reminds me of Barry Windham.
Yeah.
And I like him a lot. I don't understand the Kenny Omega allure. I know he's very good. All those guys are very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're not good, but I don't understand the draw because his matches are not.
How do you not understand?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a draw right there. You start doing the Terminator beat, man, make me want to jump into a time machine.
All right.
All right. And then on a more somber note, a wrestler, Randy Colley, also known as Moondog Rex, also known as the original Smash from Demolition, has passed away at the age of 69.
How was he the original Smash? That was Bill Eadie and Barry Darsow.
I guess they said that this guy started it before that.
What?
Yeah. So basically, he was also part of the Desperados with Black Bart and Dutch Mandel. So much condolences to Randy Colley's family, and we hope that they're going to be all right through this somber time.
Is he really?
It's not funny.
That's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
I'm not laughing at that.
I hope to pass away at 69 someday. Never
You're like, just
never
put.
knew I would die.
Don't
that
put
way.
my date of birth and death
Always
on there. Just
kinda
put that
hopes.
number on my tombstone.
And then last story of the day, Shane Taylor is reportedly moving on from Ring of Honor, thanking the fans for their support via Twitter. And he hinted that Bandito and PJ Black might also be leaving. Colt Cabana is also looking like he's out the door, though he was basically signed to like a handshake deal to where they'd play it by hand or some sort.
Play it by hand?
Oh, yeah.
Play it by ear.
Play it by ear. Pardon me.
All right. Let me ask you this: what do you think of the new name for the NWA show, pay-per-view show?
What about it?
I'm asking Jack.
I mean, I definitely feel like it's an interesting name.
All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, our international correspondent, Mr. Jack Bruce Davidson.
JBD.
On your way out, can you summon our producer, please?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
I like Bandito because he looks like he stole a bunch of Fritos. It's like the Frito Bandito. You ever remember that commercial?
You know what?
I like Fritos corn chips. I like them. I do. I like
Yeah.
Fritos corn chips.
I remember
I'll
my
steal
grandpa.
them from you.
I remember my grandpa getting really pissed off and said, "Don't watch that channel anymore because they're running that commercial."
Aw.
It would be no. You should be able to identify. There was this thing.
I mean, I had to sit through Uncle Ben commercials and stuff.
Oh, that's true.
My mom,
Hey.
Yeah, and your mom was pissed off.
Aunt Jemima.
Or you had
The
to get.
syrup instead with the syrup bottle. Ooh, child, come get you some of these pancakes. I was like, why y'all gotta do that?
My mom wouldn't buy cream of wheat anymore because of the cream of wheat man on there.
Yeah.
We had to get malto meal. So
I saw Hee Haw and I was like, this does not represent me.
Or the Dukes of Hazzard.
The hell with these
Dukes of
people.
Hazzard, right.
This is not a representation.
I don't know. I seen you sport a
Saturday, December 28th at the Della O Jiu-Jitsu Training Center. OCCW presents its annual End of the World. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, End of the World. 6 exciting matches of various, what's the word I'm looking for? People in your...
Varying intensity.
Varying intensity.
Levels of
and
degree
various
of difficulty.
stipulations. Everything from false count anywhere to no DQ to...
Inferno.
Texas bull rope match. All right? Inferno. No, there will be no Inferno matches here in my dojo.
And then
Yeah.
Get a little
stay
lighter
tuned,
fluid, who
Stay
cares?
tuned for the buried alive match at the end of the show.
The blue
You
steel
have
cage.
some grass right out there. I'm tempted to see how deep that is. That'd be sick.
All right. Robert, can you run that graphic for me real quick?
Graphic?
The end of the world. You will see the tag team champions, B.A. Marcus Frey and Azrael, defend their titles against, yes, you guessed it, once again, the rubber match. The team of Freddy Flores, Alexander Vega, Lucha Pro's own La Raza. Your comments, gentlemen.
We are going to end their world. We've been going round and round the world, round the globe with Freddy Flores and Alexander Vega, and we're going to put an end to that on the 28th. We're going to put the nail in the coffin because I'm going to be marching to a different drummer. I'm the head of the parade. I'm the edge of the blade.
He is no longer the cat's meow. He is now the lion's roar, would you say?
I am the cat's pajamas and the bee's knees. I'm
He's
giving
the-
out my digits on this dating app.
Let me just go ha one time before I get in trouble.
Every ticket you buy, I will put out one phone number of my phone number.
One digit of it.
One digit of my, there you go, digits.
Digit, including the area code.
Right?
Yes.
So I need at least 10.
That's very good. Very good.
He learned how to count. Like, well, you didn't count.
11.
You didn't,
11.
yeah,
I
'cause
need
you
the
didn't
one
account
at
for
the
11
beginning.
at the beginning,
So
I can sell 11 tickets, I'm going to put my whole phone number right here.
that's right, and you can call him at your leisure.
There's someone that is not a fan of that idea.
BA, your thoughts.
My thoughts are this. It's going on almost 1 year strong, holding these tag team titles.
That's right.
And I'm...
Oh, wait, well, you're not wrestling with us, are you? You're wrestling?
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
supposed to be Mikey O'Shea and Vito Pepperoni.
Whatever, either way.
My apologies.
Papadaki, whatever his name is.
Yeah, the team of Vito Fratelli
V-Apocalypse. Can we just call him V-Pac?
Okay, whatever you choose to call him.
Let's call him this loser, because that's really at the end of the day, it's what it is. It's what it's going to be. You're going to step in the ring with us, and you are going to see why the flash comes before the boom. You are going to see why they like to chant thunder and lightning at the shows. You're going to know that the ass whooping we put on you is nothing more than just greatness.
And it's not just my friends and family chanting our name either. Bold of you to assume I have friends and family. These are all people that are into my show everywhere I go, baby.
My Aunt Jemima might be there, but I mean, that's about it.
Aunt Jemima. Also in action, you will see Freddie Helmuth take on Luis Tapia, take on Joey Barone. That's right, a three-way dance for the number one contendership to Freddie Havoc's American Legion title. And right now I want to bring in one of the participants in said match. You know him as the greatest referee in SoCal. Others know him as Lou Tap Out Tapia.
I thought Luther was coming. He got me all like, I'm sorry. I just really like Luther.
Lethal Luthor. All right, Luis, welcome to the show.
Let me clarify this first. Wait a minute. Now, per stipulation of the contract in our inaugural championship match,
right,
it states that the loser goes into stipulation pretty much almost the same as an ex-champion, meaning that I get to have a rematch for that title.
That's right.
So technically, I'm the number one contender.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
So now, what's going on with this whole three-way match?
Well,
there can only be one number one contender, right?
Well, here's what happened.
Unless you're going for the
There
tag
can
team
only
titles?
be one.
Okay.
No, yeah, at the end.
There's
only one
right?
Highlander.
When you announced on social media that you were injured, that forced me to restructure the standings. All right, and as it were, Freddie Helmuth and Joey Barone were both in that position, so I had to give them successive title runs, right? Or title matches. However, due to the events at, and we're going to see in a minute without spoiling anything, due to the events of his match with Vito Fratelli, Freddie Helmuth is now tied with Joe Barone, who lost his match. It's a big mess. You know, there's only one way to clear it up, and that's to put all three of you in the ring at once.
See, I bet you the UFC wishes they could do stuff like that.
Oh, dude, would that be great? Oh, that would be fantastic.
That'll clear up your standings real quick. Y'all fight to the death and figure out who's the number one contender.
See, I'm really mad. I'm really mad because I know I was injured during the match, but I didn't stop. I continued. You could see me hopping in that ring, and I was still fighting for my life.
And no one doubts your toughness.
And I was still willing to go into that ring and go for my belt. Yeah, I'm gonna call it that. It's my belt. Oh. You know, I have to think like that in order for me to win it.
That's fair. That's fair. I have no problem thinking like that.
In comes in a couple of OCCW guys going, hey, you know what, take your time. You heal up. I don't care. I would have gone in there with one leg if it was meant that I was going to get that title shot, if it meant that I was going to take that title home. So I guess now I have to go and prove myself yet again against two of the toughest guys that OCCW has to produce. Well,
That's right.
No offense to the champion.
I was like,
Amongst the singles competitors.
Singles competitors.
As a tag team, though, let me tell
Now,
you.
Here's the thing. I feel that because I'm always the nice guy, I'm always willing to referee whenever asked, the nice guy is always left behind. I'm sorry. And put your damn phone away, please.
But people are asking me questions.
No, Joey the Bull is asking you questions.
Oh,
God
Joey the
damn,
Bull doesn't count as a
Exactly. So put your phone away.
person. Bull don't buy no ticket.
No.
Now, back to what I was saying. The nice guy is always being left behind. Look, freaking nice guy. Now I'm getting interrupted.
I'm sorry. You're right.
No,
we're not leaving you behind. Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate your contributions not only to the show, not only to the matches, not only to the organization, not only to the classes. I appreciate everything you've done and continue to do. However, in the interest of fair play, there was no way to clear this up. All right? All three, we had a log jam, by virtue of his performance again in a losing effort against Havoc, by virtue of his performance against Vito, Freddie Helmuth, by virtue of your performance in the ring both before and during the match with Havoc. There was nothing else I could do. I had to put all three of you in the ring at once. It comes at the perfect time at End of the World, which is 6 mixed stipulation matches. There's nothing else. You know what? You should be glad for the opportunity, because you win this, you get your crack at someone you know you can be, because you were in the ring.
I'm torn here, because I am glad that I'm getting that opportunity, but at the same time, it's like, again, I've said this before. It's like I'm in the wrestling business, and Destiny is always throwing something at me where it's like, oh, you don't belong here. Oh, you get hurt. Oh, your neck is injured. Oh, your leg is injured. And now Destiny in that match said, oh, now you're going to fight for that title with one leg. And I still continue, And now Destiny, sorry, John. Now it's telling me that, yeah, you're going to get that match, but now you're going to have to beat 2 other guys.
That's not Destiny. That's me telling you that. And that's just the way it is. And if you don't like it, look, it doesn't have to be a 3-man match. You can opt out, and it can be between those 2.
I'm getting mad here because, like I said, I'm getting torn because I have this opportunity, and now I'm getting this other things getting on top of, like, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to take advice from you, John. I really like you. I'm going to take this advice where you said, you know what? Nice guys always last. They don't last long. So at this match, I'm going to bring my best. I'm going to bring the best that I've ever been, ever.
I don't doubt that.
I'm not going to bring a fight. I am going to bring a war. I'm going to bring a war, and you're going to get the very most brutal Luis Tapia that you have ever seen. I'm not going to be Luis Tapia. I'm going to be the hitman in that ring. And 2 people are going to get assassinated. That's how it's going to go.
And I do agree with Luis Tapia. He deserves everything what he's talking about. I know your rules and stipulations, but he deserves it, man.
I mean, the way I look at it is like this. At the end of the day, you can't control what happens in that ring sometimes, and you can't control what happens outside of that ring. If you come up with an injury, you can't expect a man to hold the spot for you. But you got to take advantage of the fact that you are still at the top of the heap, and you got to show why you deserve that second shot at the title. I get where you coming from, Lewis. I get it. I understand it. I'm right there with you, where if I had earned something like that and then I felt like it was slipping away, or that there were a couple of more hurdles in my way, I would get a little angry too. But guess what? I would channel that anger, and no, I'm not going to jump over those hurdles. I'm going to run straight through them. And that's what you got to do.
I'm legit pissed.
Who are the other 2 guys in the match again?
Joey Barone and Freddie Helmuth.
Yeah, screw those guys. Like, I want you to stab at least one of them right in the back. Look, you let them kill each other, and then you just roll one of them up.
I wish I could say that, but I know these guys.
No, they're gonna kill each other.
I know these guys.
You'd be cool, man.
If that Legion title, the American Legion title wasn't there, I know those guys will be #1 contenders for the OCCW title. But, because of what's going on, now I have to go through them. And it's not going to be easy.
You put on a referee shirt, you wait in the corner, you trick the 2 of them, you think you're the second referee, and then they kill each other, and then you just come in rolling up, and you're like, 1, 2, 3, ha ha!
Luther stole
he's going to make the same, Luther stole your shirt?
Yeah.
Go to Foot Locker and get another one.
Expensive.
You just got to rob a Foot Locker person as they walking out the store.
You're accusing Luther of stealing?
No, you are.
That's a hateful stereotype. Just assume that Luther is accused of.
Well, sometimes an orange is an orange, and you just got to call it that.
It ain't so.
All right.
Well, you know what? I am gonna get ready for that match. I've been ready for that match. I thought I was gonna wrestle.
I'll tell you this: you look like you healed up pretty nicely.
Thank you.
So
but I am, like I said before, I'm pissed, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm shaking. Look, I'm shaking. It's not coffee, it's not Powerade, it's not any of that.
Take a deep breath, rub your earlobes, and I want you to sit back and watch what we got going next.
Yeah.
Saturday, November 30th at American Legion Post 555, Orange County Championship Wrestling hosted. Which show was it? It was Black Saturday. And one of the matches taking place that night was the one we're about to show you. It was Freddie Helmuth. That's right, the creature from the sewer, up against another person from the sewer, Vito Fratelli. And a match that, you just has to be seen.
it's a match between 2 guys.
brother of mine. I didn't know.
Boom. Vito Fratelli, boom. And Helmet trading headbutts to that ring apron. Traveling around. Oh! Looks like Vito. Jeez, just broke the. Vito just broke the. Freddie Helmet's own Singapore cane. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if any of you have ever actually hit with a kid with a stick before. It's like some pain that I can never explain. That stuff is it's no joke.
No, it definitely is extremely painful. Oh! And across the back of Vito Fratelli. Helmet is not out of this. Yeah, it looks like, geez, it's a pretty good way to ruin a perfectly good kendo stick, but they're still fighting. Finally getting it into the ring. And I'm laughing because I'm making noise. There's Big John on the outside making sure. Clearly, it's an ODQ. Of course, maybe the referee just didn't want to be clear. Big chop to the chest by Vito Fratelli.
Now, can I just say this? When you get shot by Vito, your heart stops.
Yeah, he's got the hands the size of a small moose. I mean, small bear. Yeah. Freddie's really taking to it. Got that choke in the corner. Let's go at the count. Boom. Going from corner to corner, pillar to post. You see Helmet coming with another chop. Oh, that's going to be loud. Oh, the home audience can hear it at home. We don't have the audio here, but I know at home you can hear it. It sounds like a ricochet or a gunshot.
Ricochet sounds like.
Whoa, drops his entire body across the throat of Vito Fratelli. As if there was not enough time outside of the ring.
Freddie's comfortable on the outside.
It's so weird. It's almost like I remember a conversation before about trying to stay in the ring. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was smart from Freddie. I mean, he hurt himself.
Yeah, it looks like Vito got back in the ring before he did.
Yeah, he's running away. That's the smart thing to do.
Boot to the head. Helmet is stepping up the pressure.
He's trying to get
I've never seen Vito run away from anybody. Look at Freddie.
I mean, but Freddie Helmuth doesn't let up. He's literally like, if you ever had a little pit bull just latch on, it's literally like that, where even if you shake him off, he's coming right back.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake by Vito. He's come on, you should be focusing on Freddie, not the fans.
Yeah, I think he's focusing on cardio right now. He's trying to get that
win back in the sales. Yeah. But man, he as strong as he is, as heavy as he is, that boy can move around that ring like a man half his size.
He's like a train. He's like a for real locomotive. Like I've seen metros that move slower than that.
Yeah. Little ground and pound going on. Freddie Helmuth's leg getting. Oh, that is incredibly painful. That snap ankle buster. That's a good way to put yourself in the blue parking space.
Going to the outside, smart.
Keeping the pressure on, not letting him take a powder, not letting him let up. Vito keeping the heat on Freddie Helmuth. Got him on that apron. Luther with the count.
See, and this is the smart thing that Vito is doing. Is he realized if I let him get a breath, he'll get back in this. Right. So he stayed on top of him. But this right here, why would you walk to the opposite side of the ring?
I think he wants to catch.
Guy get a breath.
I think it looks like he wants to catch Freddie come in. Well, I mean, that breath didn't do him much good.
See, look, now he's coming back. You give Helmuth an inch, he's gonna take a mile. Every single time.
God didn't give him enough punches.
Yeah, so he's gonna take him. Right, exactly.
probably causes his hatred of the Almighty, if you want to be honest.
Big forearm from Vito Fratelli. That's not a forearm. That's like an 8-arm.
Selling his soul to the devil didn't give him any more height.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you think you would have got a couple inches.
Right. It's like, what did you sell it for?
Might not have height, but I got length by the
Now, a lot of people don't know this.
Go ahead.
A lot of people don't know this, but sometimes
Move to the midsection.
I see Freddy in the back, and he's spitting blood, and I think that was because of that.
Yeah, you know what? There's some internal damage, I know. Big suplex by Vito Fratelli.
He's not going for that pin, though.
Crowd, you know, there's a very apt shot of the crowd sitting in stunned silence as Vito drops the elbow across the chest.
Go for the
of
pin.
Hellman.
There you go.
Very nonchalant. That's not going to do it. No.
And
You're gonna get a 2 count.
You can't mess around with
What I'm
Freddy
gonna
like
say
that.
about that right now is, Vito, if you bring cockiness like that to our match, you can guarantee it ain't gonna last. I will take you and wipe the ring with you if you sit there and try to bring that cocky mess to our match.
Freddy hooking up.
Better
Is that
take
what's
your
going on?
opponent
Is that what's going on?
serious.
Freddy hooking up? He does that. He actually hooks up. See, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, those are some big bitch slaps coming from
Look at that. Look
Freddie
at
Hellman.
that.
And
There
a
you go.
perfect suplex.
Yep.
Center of the ring, going for that cover. 2 and Go.
Transmission? What is that? Can't read the code.
looks like he's got his that arm ringer in there.
Oh, he's throwing some elbows.
Shoulder lock. Goes to an arm lock. Oh, that's in there
I
good.
taught him that, by the way.
Well, you should have taught him to put his other leg over. Oh, and out he gets. Out gets Vito Fratelli. Boom, another
He got
boot
to
for
the
his
ropes.
troubles.
He got to the ropes.
Hey, who's that over by the door, standing behind the handsome dude with the hat on backwards? Is that a good friend, R.J. Wallace?
That's Paul Fitz over
Scoping
there,
out.
too.
RJ Wallace.
RJ.
Oh!
That's an overhead belly to belly.
Oh my God! That the strength
Go
on
for
that
the
man.
pin. What's going on here? Go for
Looks
the
like
pin.
he's
Can't
going
mess
to the.
around
Is he
with
going to the
Freddy
top rope?
Hellman.
He's going coast to coast. Oh no, he's not that far over. Oh, a huge splash by.
For a big guy like that, that is almost coast to coast. I mean,
Yeah.
he flew.
2. Luther makes an emphatic 2 count. People are flipping off the referee.
Stay on him. Stay on him.
I think Vito knows what he's doing, though. I think he's just pacing himself. Oh, you know, that's a huge right hand. I was in that corner when he
He
landed
got
it.
some haymakers.
Yeah. And
Nobody
now
Oh, the ring move.
they did. I think he broke one of the pinches off.
Stay on him.
Suplex, another
Another
suplex.
suplex. Nope.
Couldn't get that big boy up.
Can't go to the well too many times.
Went into the corner. Misses the corner. Oh, whoa! Quick
Snap
German.
German.
That was quick. Hey, who's that handsome guy walking around? Looks like he's lost looking for the Foot Locker. Soccer feels that way. I'm just kidding.
I think he was looking for a title rematch.
Yeah.
Looking for.
You saw me walk by. I was mad.
You're always mad these days. You used to be a real fun, happy guy. Now you're always mad. You're like me.
Like he said, hanging around you, he's starting to realize nice guys don't get
Yeah.
anything.
Big right hand by Helmuth and another.
I'm not getting desperate.
Yep. They're resorting to fisticuffs. Oh, a huge clothesline from Helmuth.
Oh, to the back.
Can't bring that big dude down, can he? Ducks the clothesline. Oh, and down finally off his feet.
That took a lot out of him. He's still in the game, though.
Oh, hard shot to the midsection. Puts Vito down for a second time. Body slam.
Look how strong Freddy is.
You know,
mean,
Freddy's been eating his Wheaties.
Yeah, there's a lot that comes in that little package.
I don't know about that. Is that a 2? That looked like a 3 count to me.
That was close. He said 2.
All right. Well,
Gotta
Luther,
believe
no, he was
Luther.
there. He was there. Gotta get him suspenders for the pants.
One letter is off. That's why he got it like that.
Stay on him, Helmet. Oh, the action's on the other side. There we go.
Don't be picking on Vivian.
She got a little distracted. It's okay. Looks like he's going for that cannonball. Oh!
The conjunctivitis coming
There
out.
it is. Crush them one.
Can break a rib.
Gotta drag him to get that 3 count. He's got him.
That's a lot of weight to be. What? Oh, Freddie, a tactical error right there. No. Oh, trying to get that suplex.
Exactly. why
Boom.
he-
Gets shoved into the corner for his troubles.
Oh, and the sky high.
Wow. And a 3 count from Luther. Oh, Vito Fratelli gets the win. Surprising? I don't know. Good win over Freddie Helmuth.
I mean,
That move should be familiar.
Oh, look at this.
hey, I don't know if that was a shot at me, if that was a call out.
What?
Yeah, I
does
use the
that
sky
move
high.
too.
Yeah, that's one of my signature moves. That's what I bring to the ring. But yeah, you want to take it, Vito? Try to see if you can do it better than me when we meet each other on the 28th.
I'm gonna see Mikey O'Shea try a tornado DDT. Bet he can't.
You know, Joey
Because
Barone.
he's too fat.
Joey Barone does the
okay.
3 German suplexes. I did that first.
I lock up with people.
Well, there you have it.
I
Ladies
punch
and
people.
gentlemen, you know, something to look forward to. You know, you guys both got to scout one of your opponents for the 28th.
Oh yeah, and I got to see how cocky Vito truly is when he steps in that ring.
What-
Make that same mistake on the 28th.
One more time, Robert, can you run that graphic, please? Stop searching for stuff on IKEA. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, Orange County Championship Wrestling presents The End of the World, Saturday, December 28th, 2019 at the Della O Jiu-Jitsu Training Center. Come see the tag team champions defend their titles against the team of Mikey O'Shea and Vito Fratelli. See this man, Luis Tap Out Tapia against Joey Barone, Freddie Helmuth for the number 1 contendership to the OCCW American Legion title. That and much more. You're gonna see La Raza in action. You'll see some new guys, and you also see some of the GCF favorites. Don't you dare miss it. Once again, that's Saturday, December 28th at the Della O Jiu-Jitsu Training Center. Doors open at 5:30. Bell times at 6 o'clock. Tickets are $10 pre-sale, $15 at the door. Don't you dare miss it. Thank you, Robert. We have now come to the portion of our show known as Topics. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Topics, where I will propose a question to this distinguished panel and the panel in the peanut gallery out there, and they will have 1 minute to comment on said topics. This week we have 2 that I want to kind of throw a curveball at my friends. As you saw, this weekend was the WWF's pay-per-view tables, ladders, and of course chairs. And for over 20 years, the TLC man, they call TLC, which is, you know, a play because tender loving care is the opposite of what you
Scrub
see.
is a guy who can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend. You probably know. You probably had that song screamed.
I mean, I thought you were going to start singing, "Don't go chasing
waterfalls, listen to the rhythm." Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sing, so I'm not gonna sing.
That said, dude, we got to do a karaoke night again. That said, tables, ladders, and chairs will be one of our topics. Ladies and gentlemen, who wants this topic first? Joey the Bull? No? Busy looking.
Nobody watched it.
We're gonna go with the one who actually watched it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Bruce Davidson will be commenting on tables, ladders, and chairs.
All right. So what I'm going to talk about is the women's TLC match for the tag team championships.
Uh-huh.
And it was a really hard-hitting match. Kairi Sane got hurt during the match. She had a concussion. She's yet to be cleared. She took a few hard shots, including an exploder suplex into the barricade.
Oh.
And she even got a monitor to the side of the head, you know. And she took a lot of shots, and Charlotte got pissed off during the match and slapped her in the face for botching a spear because she slowly collapsed. So it was a really hard-hitting match. She also got a chair thrown close to her head region. So
Head region?
Yeah, her head.
They were trying to kill each other.
Yeah, they were trying to kill each other, hence the spirit of TLC, holiday turkeys, presents, gift trees, and chairs to the face. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, good. Now remember, you don't have to talk about this tables, ladders, and chairs. You can give me your opinion on tables, ladders, and chairs.
I mean, I like recliners
Azrael.
and just lazy boys
No.
and whatnot. I think it takes away from the importance of a match if you have an entire pay-per-view based off of every match having
Robert.
that concept. I know they have Hell in the Cell, where, like
Thank you.
all of them are in the cell. Tables and ladders and chairs used to have like Bubba Ray Dudley, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Jeff Hardy.
Right.
Like that's a lot.
That was
to
the first
expect.
TLC match at
Yeah, so
WrestleMania.
it's like you have an opening match that involves some of this stuff. So some of the matches are just tables, some of them are just ladders, and some of them are just chairs.
Okay.
Usually the best tables, ladders, and chairs matches that I've seen though haven't been on a TLC pay-per-view. It was just an individual match that was on the
Right.
card with the right combination of people. Sometimes they have guys in it where it's not really a combination for those three things to work out because you need a certain body type. So if you have somebody with like Rusev versus somebody like, I don't know, Lashley, like that TLC match is not going to work because like all those ladder matches, there's a lot of spots that you can do when you have a different body type. Like Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn is a lot different than Rusev versus Lashley.
Or even the Dudleys against Edge and Christian.
Yeah, I mean, because Bubba Ray was like the best bump at that point in
Oh, it's-
time. He was
it's beautiful.
He was amazing at that. So they could bump him off the top of the world pretty
Yeah.
much. So you can make those matches work. With the women's match, I could see Charlotte getting mad. But when you give a girl a concussion, don't get mad when she forgets your spot, you moron. Like,
Yeah, don't get mad. Yeah.
if I knocked you half unconscious, I can't get mad that you forgot what was
Right.
next.
You stupid.
Like, bro, who are you?
Like,
Where are we?
I'd be like, what
city
day is this?
All right.
Am I back in New Japan?
Do you want to comment on it? Okay, Luis Tapia,
Kyrie
with his
Sane's a beautiful
opinion.
woman, by the way.
With his opinion. I have yet to see.
Stop.
Hey, stop.
Right there.
TLC. The subject is TLC. The topic is TLC. Luis Tapia, your thoughts.
My thoughts on the TLC pay. I mean, what he was just mentioning, people getting injured and all that. What's going on here is that a lot of workers, a lot of wrestlers, a lot of female wrestlers, now they're trying to come up with something that the people haven't seen, so they get injured more. And that's happening a lot in wrestling nowadays because now everybody, instead of like doing a moonsault, now they're doing 450s. Now they're doing 890s, whatever. They're doing more flips, which is the probability of them getting injured is getting higher and higher and higher. And they're doing all these spots, and yeah, they get a pop, they get a cheer, whatever. But at the end of the day, like he said, what does it mean at the end? I mean, these matches used to mean something, and now they're just a big, spot festival where people are getting injured, and I think that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
What was the main event of it? Do we know? What was the main event?
It was Bray Wyatt versus The Miz.
Okay, like Bray Wyatt. That's case in point. You want Bray Wyatt to climb the goddamn ladder and doing it? That's not his body. You know?
No, yeah.
That's not him.
It's a good way to ruin
That's
a
not
ring.
his thing.
Good way to ruin a whole ring.
Wasn't Mark Henry like in a TLC match?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
one of the entrants.
And ask me how many times he actually tried to climb up that ladder. It
Right.
was maybe once.
That's a big handicap.
Yeah,
man.
it just doesn't.
Like when they throw Kane in it. Like, Kane's not going to win this thing.
I mean,
It'd be weird
What-
if he did. I mean, but
well, because to me, the way that I look at it is the novelty of something like a ladders match or a TLC match was you look at the past and you go, Shawn Michaels versus
It is a
Razor
novelty.
Ramon.
One match
It's
during the
one.
card.
But to sit there and say the entire pay-per-view is going to have an aspect of TLC. No, you didn't have an aspect of tables, ladders, and chairs when it was the Hardys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys. It was all three at once, and which made it a novelty because what did you do? You had to up the ante from what everyone knew in the ladders match, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. That match set the tone, and the whole point was going the next level. Now you have a pay-per-view built around different aspects of the match. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to throw a bunch of chairs in the ring.
Yeah, it's bad.
To do what? Then we're gonna have tables in the ring, and if you go through one table, that ends the match. But we're gonna have a bunch of tables lined up around there. It's stupid.
Well, do you remember why it's tables, ladders, and chairs in the first place? Like, why is the first match called that? Does anybody remember why?
Because there were tables, ladders, and chairs involved, but it was a ladder match.
It was like the Dudleys had the tables,
Right.
and Christian had the
chairs, and Hardy Boys were known going off the ladder.
So we used all of these things together.
And it was an amazing match.
It was.
And I never forgot that.
It's never been topped.
And no,
it really hasn't.
And to put an entire pay-per-view kills the whole thing.
It really does.
There's people that you shouldn't put in that position because they're going to get hurt doing it. Not everybody can do a ladder match and not get hurt.
I'm not going to want to watch Braun Strowman try to climb a ladder to get a title.
At the same time, you can't tell someone, oh, you're a really good wrestler, but we're not going to use you on the pay-per-view because it's for people who aren't really good wrestlers.
That body type. Right. Yeah. So then that's when you... I think that's why they broke it down the way that they did, where it's like, we'll have a match where it's a tables match. Yeah. But it doesn't make any sense.
Our next topic, and our final topic of the evening, right? And I think everyone has an opinion on this, except myself, because I have an opinion on this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame. Earlier today, we talked about the NWO going into the Hall of Fame. Now we're going to talk about the WWE Hall of Fame. First, for his opinion, we go to Azrael.
I think the Hall of Fame inductions, it's for entertainment purposes. So you're bringing out people that people want to see. So Kevin Nash gets a pop. Kevin Nash draws attention. So they're looking for as many reasons as possible to induct Kevin Nash because they want to bring that guy back. It's like Shawn Michaels in DX, perhaps. Shawn Michaels as himself. Shawn Michaels as a trainer should get a Hall of Fame induction because they want to bring people. It's like they're gonna run out of people that are interesting. You don't want to class as a bunch of people that nobody heard of or remembered or whatever. And some people aren't as entertaining as others. In the Hall of Fame. The people who aren't in the Hall of Fame, I think Macho Man's still not. So it's just who they like and who they don't like and who's going to be interesting to bring in for this year and who's available. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a reason for anybody to get upset about anything. Because, of course, the NWO is in the WWE Hall of Fame because they closed down WCW as requested, as ordered, as per the storyline, and probably semi-true. Vince McMahon's like, look, let me cut all of this payroll, and you can put Ted out of business.
I got a comment.
Okay, Luis.
All right. First question: is there an actual physical Hall of Fame, or is this just?
Good question.
Here's the thing. The thing about the Hall of Fame, that the way that I see it now, is kind of like the championships. I grew up in the watching wrestling in the 90s, so we had 3 major titles, which was the world title, the IC title, and the tag team titles. And back then, you knew who was the champion. You knew who held the belts. Getting into the early 2000s, everybody had a belt. Everybody was a champion. I didn't know who was the champion. I didn't know. Now you're asking me who's in the Hall of Fame. Probably half the locker room. Half the locker room is in it. And now to me it means nothing because now they're throwing celebrities. Now they're throwing
Pete Rose.
Donald Trump is a WWE Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose is in the Hall of Fame.
You're throwing.
I get it.
And like he mentioned, Macho Man Randy Savage is not in there. Did they ever introduce Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame?
No, his
I'll
wife
speak
is
on
against.
that. Right.
His wife is very against.
It means nothing. So to me, I'm sorry, but it's just another day at the office.
Fair enough. All right, and for the final opinion of the evening, we go to the man who is getting better at meeting females, B.A. Marcus Frey.
The Hall of Fame to me, it did start out as something that I guess, to me, it was something that I thought was real. And again, like you guys asked, is there really a Hall of Fame? No, there is nowhere where you can walk and actually view the plaques.
So there's no
for the
Hall of Fame. There's no Cooperstown, there's no Canton, Ohio.
There is nothing that fans can actually attend and walk as a true Hall of Fame. Which this then becomes just a coup for the wrestlers to say, hey, this is my 3rd time now making it into the Hall of Fame. How many are you gonna? So you've inducted Hollywood Hulk Hogan, regular Hulk Hogan, and then what are you gonna do? When he wore the mask character?
Mr.
America.
All the 2K
exactly.
costumes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you gonna do Kane with the mask? Kane, corporate Kane, and it's really becoming a joke. And I get the whole Owen Hart thing. I've been ever since they started doing this. I said he's one of the main ones that needs to be inducted. And unfortunately, like he said, his wife and his family are very, against him being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame because they still, I guess, have a pending lawsuit as far as his wrongful death. And yeah, and
30 years.
exactly.
They don't want it to benefit them in any way.
Exactly.
And it's like, you already have his footage, though.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: Owen Hart doesn't need to be in the Hall of Fame for us to remember. We're still talking about
We
him.
are.
We're still talking about the Macho Man. So
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The Hall
so
of
that's why
Fame
it became
That's
a
a really
joke
good point.
because we're looking at it and we're going, we know who the greats were when we were watching them.
Yeah.
So for you to try and validate who was great, to me, is a joke. So how you inducted The Rock? Or have they inducted The Rock yet? I don't think they
See,
have.
that's what I'm talking about. You don't even know.
But they
You don't even
inducted
know.
Steve Austin.
It's bad.
You know,
It's the whole championship
and
thing.
then
You don't know
might
who's
as well
in.
induct the Nation of Domination so The Rock could get two. You know, like it's a joke.
Yeah, you know what? A very interesting topic. Once again, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets. They are on sale now for OCCW's annual End of the World Wrestling event here at here at Della O Jiu-Jitsu Training Center. That's 8381 Catella Avenue in beautiful uptown Stanton. Doors will open at 5:30. The bell time's at 6 p.m. Tickets are $10 pre-sale, $15 at the door. Don't you dare miss it. So, for Joey the Bull,
Yeah.
for Luis Tapia, for the inimitable Jack Bruce Davidson, and for the OCCW Tag Team Champions, I am Jonathan Malice. I am wishing you a good night and hoping that all of your bumps will be taking place in that ring.
Good night, Yoga Star.
Hey! She's not even on.
She is. She was on.